the equalizer, did you?
Mm-mm. Hey, Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.
Keep it up. A lot of football. A lot of football, boys.
But you're so foolish. You were so foolish walking into the pit, thinking that I was just going to sit back and take your crap one more time, man. What do you think you are? You ain't nothing special to me, man. You're a piece of flesh. When I step into the ring and I look at that man across the ring from me, I say, well, that's my dinner. That's my meal. That's my meal ticket. You see, but what I've been living on just don't fill me up, Hulk Hogan. So I got to have a little bit more. I got to...
Brady quickly, tempo looks up, throws the ball downfield, got a receiver in the area. Caught ball, touchdown, Tampa Bay, Antonio Brown. What an answer by Brady and the Bucs. Fires to the left, it is a caught ball, touchdown, Tampa Bay. O.J. Howard.
To the ship for my friends, you know that I would die. He put holes in both of my hands, like I am Jesus Christ. I'm Maria, I'm growing out like a chia. I'm gonna bob it and pull it, twist, flick it, spin like I'm Sia. I'm gonna swing on the lights, I'm gonna die tonight. I'm gonna die with a smile, I hope I did it right. I'm gonna hate it all out and I'll fucking spit on my grave. It's Jake the Snake, it's still the same.
Ronald Jones will get it. Big hole. Jones gets by. Ronald Jones may go all the way. Being chased from behind. Does Jones have enough? Still on his feet. Ronald Jones, 98-yard touchdown.
Congratulations. You won.
Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Merry Christmas and a happy
Merry New Year.
Merry New Year.
Merry New Year for you, my friend.
Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television here, live from Ducky Sports Lounge. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire of 1252 Sports in Chicago, as we get you ready here live on NSPN I Love St. Pete for your pregame edition. Bucs versus the Panthers, Week 16. And Bucs fans, I don't know about you, I enjoyed Christmas, but got to get that bad taste out of your mouth when it comes to that Buccaneer loss versus the New Orleans Saints 9-0. And we will see here the next couple weeks what this team is made of, especially with all the injuries they have. As always, Harry the Greek, how you doing today, buddy?
Absolutely fantastic. Everybody out there, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and
right,
everything, and an absolutely Happy New Year. But I'll tell you what, it's been a pretty good week.
Yes.
I had the week off from work. It was actually very enjoyable. Been on a little bit of a heater, too, man. I didn't get the San Francisco game correct, but I'll tell you what. Hope everybody's making money with those picks because yesterday, 3-0 on my picks.
Oh.
3-0 in 2 games. Don't forget the over and under in one of them. I was on Cleveland and my brain.
That's all right. And you got
Indy.
the Colts and Indy.
No, Indy without the points.
Really?
I took Indy on the money line, and that's what I gave out was the money line.
Very nice.
Which the returns were even higher.
Very nice. Very
got some
nice.
good picks today, too, bud.
I know you do got some good picks today. What is the early line on this Tampa Bay Buccaneer game right now? Bucs versus the Panthers, even with all the
week
injuries.
started out minus 12.
Mm-hmm.
They were favored by 12, and I'm like, there's zero chance you can bet minus 12. You just can't.
Right.
It's all the way down to 9. That is how much money has gone on Carolina, Peter, in this game. I mean, there's too many injuries for the Buccaneers, and on top of it, the Messiah has risen from Carolina, Mr. Sam Darnold.
Well, Sam Darnold or Cam Newton, and at this point, we don't know
who?
Right, Cam Newton.
He's on a milk carton.
Well, I mean, last week, 15 for 23, 178, 1 interception, and ever since he's come back, get this, he started 4 games. They're 0-4, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but still, at the end of the day, Cam Newton has that mobility issue that has given the Bucs all kinds of problems. So we'll see what happens today with all the injury situation. Not only Mike Evans out of this game, Chris Godwin lost for the year with the torn ACL. Leonard Fournette not in the lineup today. JPP, a late scratch last night.
JPP is scratched too?
Yes, he is. He's out of this game.
Who's playing receiver for the Bucs? By the way, the line's back up to 10.5, folks. The total's 44.5. That line has actually come down. It was 46. It's down to 44.5. I'm going to tell you right up front, I'm not even going to tease it. Stay away from this game.
Right.
This team put up 0 points last week. 0.
Right.
Okay. And they had Godwin and they had Evans at that point. 0 points. Be very scared of this team. I'm going to tell you why, Peter. They made 0 adjustments at halftime.
Right.
The pressure, Cam Jordan looked like Khalil Mack in his first year.
Yes, the offensive line struggled, and that's the thing about it.
And they did, and this is where I'm bringing it up. They did nothing to shade and slide the protection to the right side where it was coming from. Nothing.
You're right.
And you thought they would have did that in the second half, but they never did.
No.
And who's the one that usually does it when they slide them over? It's
Gronkowski, which had
let's keep pushing them out. Worst. I mean, it was horrible. That's why I'm saying stay away from the game today.
The whole offense.
Bucs should win the game handily,
right.
But it's not for betting purposes. You want to make a bet? Make the bet for the second half. Observe what you're seeing with your eyes and then make an adjustment for the second half. But I don't like what I'm seeing out of Tampa Bay right now.
No, you definitely don't like what you're seeing, especially with the injury situation. To recap, Mike Evans out of this game. Chris Godwin, of course, lost for the year. Antoine Winfield out of this game. Leonard Fournette out of this game. Levante David out of this game. JPP out of this game. Bradley Pinion. So guys are going to have to step up today. Definitely want to hear from you guys out there to step up and talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How you feeling about this matchup versus the Carolina Panthers? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire, 1252 Sports. Let's go out to these comments here. Antonio Brown, booming East Tampa, Liberty City. Bet your money on me. I'll be catching at least 3 touchdowns today, and that is the big story. Antonio Brown returning to the
big game today, baby.
You're going to need him. Of course, BA saying this is what's best for this team. And right now, losing Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, it certainly seems like it. Not only Antonio Brown is going to have to step up today, but a guy like Tyler Johnson and Scotty Miller who had their rough moments there against the Saints. Yes,
they can do it. The elephant in the room is saying, you don't want any more injuries? You just signed Le'Veon Bell. You've got nothing to lose.
Right.
Let me repeat it. You've already got the division in hand. You're not going to get the number 1 seed. Get that out of your mind, Tampa. It's gone. Okay. The best team in the NFC right now is actually not the best team in the NFC. Those are the lucky, I got a horseshoe stuck in my ass, Green Bay Packers.
Right.
Okay, number 1, they should have lost the game yesterday. 4 interceptions, Baker Mayfield, but that's for another time and another day. Okay, but let me explain this right up front. That is not going to happen. You want to put Le'Veon Bell out there and you want to ride him like a bell cow today. Okay?
Right.
Because you got nothing to lose.
No.
Then set up the play action pass. Let this be an ugly game, folks.
Well, it has to be
Let
an
him
ugly
run
game.
the football.
You're going to have to depend on the victim of volume and a Ronald Jones
What about
today. Le'Veon Bell, you sign him this week. And I tell you what, let's go out.
He's ready to go, isn't he?
Well, according to him, he is. So let's go out to him really quick here live on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television from Ducky Sports Lounge. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek. Here we go.
Agent called me, told me what happened. It was just a great opportunity for me, obviously. To come here, play with a 7-time Super Bowl champ, play with my other former teammate, so I looked at it as a great opportunity, and I was just excited once I got the call. It was hard to turn it down. Yeah, I'm really comfortable with a lot of the verbiage. Obviously, some new things and wrinkles is a little different that I'll have to learn and get accustomed to. But yeah, it's really, a lot of what I'm used to, and I was able to go out there first day and pick up a lot of the offense. So I'm glad I was comfortable with everything today.
All right, so welcome back to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. Let me put this out there, okay? When I'm doing a live show, please don't text me. Use the phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. You can text on the Facebook line there, but please don't text my personal phone. We're trying to take calls today. We're trying to do a pregame show. Everybody else, sit back, put your seatbelt on. I got this. Harry the Greek's got this. And talking about Le'Veon Bell coming into this situation, he hasn't been a 1,000-yard rusher since 2017, of course, held out in 18, and has never been the same since. In your opinion, can he be a big-time impact for this team on third downs, especially catching the ball, which Ronald Jones and Keyshawn Vaughn haven't shown?
I've always liked Le'Veon Bell, okay? And he hasn't had quite this type of line to run behind. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that. Kansas City has a hell of an offensive line, too.
Sure.
Okay, especially for running the football.
Baltimore, the Jets, right.
They just need – look, they got nothing to lose right now.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot suffer any more injuries.
Sure.
You get a Scotty Miller or Tyler Johnson or, God forbid, your best wide receiver, Antonio Brown, hurt.
Right.
And the playoffs are right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You're FUBAR.
Yeah.
No, FUBAR.
Right.
They don't – listen, it's not the end of the world if the Bucs don't win this game. You're going to get seeded wherever you're seated. They're going to the playoffs. That's it. You're not going to be the number one seed. End that discussion. Please stop all the scenarios. It's not going to happen. Right now, Green Bay has a horseshoe stuck in their ass. They're going to catch Arizona. I predicted before this week that Arizona would win another game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let alone they were a favorite against yesterday in Indianapolis.
The wheels are falling off on that team.
They are falling off that team.
Really
were
are.
not as good as what they were. When Kyler Murray went down, I said the team wasn't that good anyway. Period.
You're right. We're on the sports web, so definitely get on the phone line. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Live here the day after Christmas. Merry Christmas out there. Hopefully you had a great holiday day with your family. Let me go back out to the comments here. Let's see. Actually, Sean says Ozzy, the Sports Junkie, media reporting Ozzy, the Sports Junkie, has been spotted in a stretch limo headed towards Ducky Sports Bar. These reports have not been confirmed, but insiders say there's a real chance. Well, you're always welcome here on the Evolution. That would be Mr. Ozzy, the Sports Junkie, coming in here.
Don't know him.
Yes, well, you will if he does come in.
Pretty good dude.
Absolutely. Great
All right,
dude.
we're going to have a great time.
Dude. Peter said if I score 3 touchdowns today, he will give me his 3,000 Rolex. They did not say that.
300K Rolex.
Right. Well, 300K Rolex.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
I'm sitting in the room of royalty. A viral guy. Is it catchy?
It is catchy. I love it.
Here,
Absolutely love it.
Let me go park my ass up over here.
Oh, you're so funny. I tell you what, speaking of royalty, let's go out to Tom Brady and his comments on what they need to improve to beat this Panther team live here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Hold on. Anybody that talks about Tom Brady, they should address him as my lord.
Whatever. Enjoy.
Like you.
We'll miss certainly Chris and what he's done. So it's tough to lose someone like that who's worked so hard and done everything the right way, and such a huge contributor on the field, but off the field too, and his leadership, clutch plays. So there's nowhere to replace him. But we still got to figure out how to move the ball and score points. And had a lot of injuries, in defense this year. This last game offensively, quite a few. So have to figure out kind of what we can do well and try to do things consistently enough to score points. But, we got to go out and play well. And again, I don't think there's no excuses, we're trying to just go out there and do well. And all of us who are out there doing it gotta go play our best.
All right, welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire, 1252 Sports, and he's got to step up. He didn't play his best game versus the New Orleans Saints, of course. Once again,
he was throwing the ball out of a phone booth.
Right, sacked 4 times. He had 2 turnovers in that game. The offensive line has to play better. Of course, Tom Brady made another Pro Bowl and 3 offensive linemen, which is crazy to think that they had that type of game versus the Saints. But you just have a bad night, and again, you've got to improve on that.
You're entitled to.
Right, but coming into it here, this Panther team can really get after the quarterback.
This is not the Saints.
No, but you have Brian Burns.
Yeah,
you do have
okay.
Hassan Riddick. They have 36 sacks coming into this game. They do have Stephon Gilmore, so it's not like they don't have some talent. Your offensive line has to play better up to that Pro Bowl level. Ali Marpet, congratulations. Tristan Wirfs, congratulations. And who's the other player that I'm missing at this point? Ryan Jensen, first Pro Bowl. So they have to play better, especially in that interior. Not only those outside pass rushers, but, of course, Derek Brown, second-year player here, playing very well for this defense. And that has been the key for this line. When they can get after it, they can give opposing quarterbacks lots of problems, right?
Without question, they can. I mean, they are a decent defensive line. They stopped the run halfway decent. I wouldn't say it's totally perfect, but I will tell you this: it's extraordinary what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially they play a really good zone, but they can also play man up on a line.
Right.
Okay, and they can play a lot of press coverage.
Right. Exactly.
Always.
Right. Well, I mean, and they got Stephon Gilmore. They have C.J. Henderson. So, once again, it's not like they don't have talent. You have Jeremy Chin. But what I'm looking at, the matchup that I'm looking at right now, we're live here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire of 1252 Chicago Sports. Ronald Jones, 8 carries for 63 yards last year, going back to the scene of the crime. 23
That's where
carries,
he peeled off the 80 or 90-yard
98-yard run, 23
carries
about for 192. Now he has the opportunity to really step up. He could be the bell cow of this team. He can make people forget about Le'Veon Bell. What do you like this matchup? Because the Panthers have been somewhat good against the run. Can the Bucs get that running game going, not only with Bell, but also with Ronald Jones?
You know what? Give me a minute to elaborate on this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers can get the running game going whenever they want in any game that they want.
Sure.
They choose not to run the football.
Right.
That's the issue with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I say, don't give Ronald Jones the ball 100 times today. I'm saying, make sure Le'Veon Bell is tested today. They don't need to afford. They can't afford. They already know what they have with Rojo.
Sure.
They already know what they have with the running game. Put the ball in Le'Veon Bell's hands today. Don't risk the injuries. Make sure you're stuffing 8 people in the box. Commit to the run. Then turn Antonio Brown loose. Then turn a Scotty Miller loose. Then turn a Gronkowski loose.
Right.
I want to see what they like Cleveland played yesterday. I want to see 2 and 3 tight end sets in the back in there with 1 wide receiver. I want to see ugly smash mouth football.
Don't you have
now
to
you
run
won't get
that?
hurt.
Don't you have to run that type of football with Evans out, with Godwin out, not having those
You're
weapons?
supposed to.
Right.
Okay. It's but you know what it is? It's not innovative football. This is not what Bruce Arians does. It's it's total opposite of the risk it no biscuit. But when you get 8, 9 people in the box and you're committed, Cleveland did this yesterday. They had 8 and 9 people in the box on Green Bay's defense, and they were running up to the side that they were actually shown they were doing. They were peeling off 10 yards of run.
Yeah.
They couldn't stop them for nothing. If Tampa Bay decided that they want to run a 12 personnel, they would be able to have their will with the running game that they have. Let me tell you something. The hosses that they got up front, they can really mow, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they are the best offensive line in football. I'm telling you now for running the football, but they don't commit to the run. That's my take on it. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to be sitting here at halftime again, committing, going, what happened to the run game?
I hope not. I hope not. And I tell you what, let's go out to Tom Brady and his thoughts about the offensive line here live on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television on NSPN and I Love St. Pete. Here we go.
Very important, and an offensive line sets a tone every week. We've got some great guys up front who have really led the way all season, and we're going to have to rely on those guys to do great things for us this week, especially going against the front that we're going against. You know, big, powerful guys inside, very athletic rushers on the outside. This is a very, very good defense we're facing. And, again, we're just going to have to keep adapting. I mean, lose a couple guys in the game and then, you know, different guys with COVID and so forth that you lose. So, you know, just got to keep adjusting, adapting to figure out, you know, how we can adjust the best we possibly can. A great, you know, there's 5 great linemen we have that all play, and 3 of those guys got selected. They're really well coached. You know, Goody and Joe and AQ do a great job of coaching Ryan and Allie and Tristan. Alex and Donnie, I mean, are both phenomenal players. So they've been the strength of our team all season. I love playing with those guys. They take a lot of pride in what they do. And, you know, everyone loves that they got the recognition because they deserve it. And at the same time, they want to go earn it and, you know, make sure that they're playing their best football this time of year.
All right, welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire, 1252 Chicago Sports. Listening to Brady, he knows how important that offensive line. And once again, going back to it, giving up 4 sacks. Cam Jordan had a night. That offensive line got dominated. You cannot go into these rest of these games like that. How are you surprised that the Bucs had so many offensive linemen selected to the Pro Bowl? They deserved it, right?
No, man. That's why I said, look, I need to apologize here first.
Sure.
I don't mean to get as fired up as I do, but when you're as passionate about something,
what do we say? 3 things on this show.
Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense.
Never, ever apologize for bringing passion.
But I have to because
excitement.
I sound like a broken record. Okay, the people that listen to your show, my show, other platforms, they hear me say the same thing in regards to the Buccaneers when I'm prognosticating the game.
Sure.
If they would commit to a run game. So for those reasons, I don't want to apologize. I don't want to sound like that broken record 24/7.
No, not at all. You're not a broken record because, again, we've said it before. We'll say it again. This team, when they're at their best, is balanced, and that's why Ronald Jones, Le'Veon Bell, Keyshawn Vaughn are very important, especially Jones and Bell, especially with you signing them. And I'll tell you what, let's go back out to the comments here.
Absolutely.
The key for the next 3 weeks is balance on offense and the defense to keep stopping the opponent, at least hold the opponents to field goals. Very disappointing. Look, the running game didn't get off against the Saints. They did a good job of controlling that. But at the end of the day, you're losing a Levante David. Now a Kevin Minter is going to have to step up. This defensive line is going to have to step up to stop the run.
Levante David's a big loss, but you're not going to lose as much as you think. Because let me tell you something. Minter lines up really well for the type of offense that Carolina is going to show.
Right.
Okay. Need I remind you what he did against the Washington football team last year? No, seriously. Need I remind you? Not 1, but 2 tip passes.
Sure.
Forced the fumble and created an interception for Sean Murphy.
He's one of the team leaders on this.
The guy can flat out play.
Absolutely.
Love him.
Devin
Should
White,
be starter.
Devin
Not for
White.
this team, though.
All right, I tell you what. Let's go out to this guy here. We'll get his walk-up music on. Here we go. All right, Ed from Palm Harbor leading off the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Absolutely live here from Ducky Sports Lounge. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek. What do you got to say?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I saw what you were doing for Christmas yesterday.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
I was on full uncle duty, and on top of it, I was deciding to pick up my niece and nephew. And unfortunately, my back didn't like that idea, and I'm paying for it not only last night, but this morning. But besides that, damn, I had a good time. All right.
Harry, how was your Christmas? I didn't know what you were doing. What did you do?
Brother, what did I do? I kicked back, relaxed, ate a whole bunch of food. I've been pretty blessed. Right. You know, I still have my mother. She's 87 years old, and she's up in the Greek's household, and we had the typical Christmas dinner. Lots of lamb, potatoes, Greek style, of course, Greek salad, and of course, I had to cook the ham, not the lamb, but I had to cook the ham. For the wife.
Okay, good.
Because she was having no part of that lamb, bro.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Ed.
I cooked the ham for the wife and
cooked
some potatoes. And I'm not Greek, but I love Greek food, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So
and I love to cook.
And we had some pies. I mean, we ate big. We don't really normally eat like that.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to stay in shape, but But anyways, I had a couple of bad dreams, and I'm going to tell you guys about them.
Okay.
And they're about the Bucs.
Right.
One scenario was the Bucs lost every game, the last 3 games, and they missed the playoffs.
Okay.
And the other scenario is that they won one game against the Jets, and they were swept against Carolina, and they got into the playoffs, but they lost in the first round. Harry, this question's for you, since you're the Greek. Do you think they can really pull this off this year, based on what's happened to them? Because it would be a real shame if they didn't. I mean, all the stuff that they've been through. They got Tom Brady. They really built this team to win now. And I don't. You as you keep saying, you don't think Tom Brady's gonna be back next year. I mean, this is it. You know, I mean, we may go back to being perennial losers after this. I don't know. So what do you think, Harry?
That's a 2-part question. I like when people back me into a corner. I do not have a very popular opinion in regards to this.
Mm-hmm.
The answer to your question is no. And I'm going to tell you why. It can be a yes if they get healthy really quick, but I don't want to see them get healthy just starting the playoffs. They have got to get healthy now. That's why I have been so forceful, in my opinion, when they signed Le'Veon Bell. I don't want it to be just like the third-string running back last year, or even their third-string running back from this year they got from Cincinnati. Help me out here, Peter.
Oh, Giovanni Bernard.
I mean, they're barely
they have
used.
Not all of these guys, all the guys they brought back have not been healthy, not once, all together, all year long. It's crazy.
Tampa Bay was spoiled last year in regards because they were the healthiest team in football.
Sure.
Okay, there's 2 things: momentum going into the playoffs and staying healthy. And this team has 0 of each right now. 0. Okay, you're coming off 0 points against the New Orleans Saints, and they had one person to stop, and that was Alvin Kamara. They didn't respect the quarterback play. But to answer your question, they need to get healthy now. Listen, I'm not trying to put an onus on them, and I'm not a fanboy. Okay, I only handicap with my eyes. This team has the capabilities of being the best team, not in the NFC, but the entire NFL. But they've lost that momentum a little bit, and I'm telling you now, they have too many injuries. Antonio Brown is an answer, but losing Chris Godwin, Peter,
it's tough.
Is huge.
Yep.
And it doesn't make a difference if they had Walter Payton in his prime right now. They don't run the football.
Right, and they have to run the football more, and we continue to say it. They got to do it more consistently, and they're going to have the opportunity.
I hope that answers your question, Ed, and I hope I didn't upset you by telling you that, but those are straight facts.
I went from just being a little depressed to a lot of depressed.
Well, there should be no depression at this point because this team is 10-4.
The team's in the playoffs.
The team is 10-4. They have to take care of their business.
The playoff spot yet. If they lose out, they could.
If they can lose out, come
on.
They're not going to lose out.
First off, they're going to win out. I'm worried about when they run up against a real team like they did last year in the first round in the playoff game, which was the wild card.
Right.
Let me educate everybody out there because everybody's got fans in front of their eyes and they can't see the forest through the trees. Okay? That team could have lost against the Washington football team last year. Okay?
Absolutely.
They could have lost. And we're not even talking Super Bowl. It's because of coaching. And I keep preaching this. They don't run the football. Okay? But they did in the playoffs. After they got by Washington, Ed, they decided to get to a running game to set up the pass and then play defense. And that's exactly what they did to win the Super Bowl against Kansas City. Maybe this is what Tampa Bay's waiting to do. Don't run the football during the regular season, and then all of a sudden in the playoffs, we're going to completely change our MO, go back to running and setting up the pass. You know, Ed, less than 200 yards passing for Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Less than 200 yards passing. Just let that sink in.
Yeah, so they can do it. They can do it when they want to do it.
So if they run the football,
sure.
Yes, this team will go. This team will not only go undefeated for the season, but they will mow through the NFL in the playoffs. And all they got to do is run the football like they did last year. They had a scare in the first round. Does that answer it for you? That make you feel a little better?
No, because you originally said that they're not going to do it.
No, they wouldn't do it because they don't want to run the football.
If they
said they could.
The style of play right now where they are one-dimensional, no, they will not. But at the end of the day, this team has to get healthy defensively. They have the opportunity to do that. Offensively, of course, they lose Godwin. He had 98 catches this year, so that's a big-time loss. But it's not like you don't have talent on this team today's game, you're missing Mike Evans, but eventually you would believe that Mike Evans will be healthy. You'll have Antonio Brown back, Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, Jalen Darden. One of these guys is going to have to step up. Of course, Darden's not going to play today. COVID reasons, of course. But at the end of the day, you still have some time to get healthy defensively, and I think that's the key. I know how you can win. We know how you can win. The Bucs put out that blueprint. A lot of people say, well, know how to beat the Bucs. Maybe so.
Yeah.
But we know this team, if they can run the ball, be balanced, not turn over the ball, and play suffocating defense, they can go a long way. Ed, what else?
Hang on, Ed. Also, let it be known that I have a lot of money
feel
bet.
like they're on a
Right.
collision course.
Sure.
They're on a collision course to meet up with the Saints again in the playoffs.
Okay.
Is that a possible scenario? And do you think that the Bucs can beat them the next
I think
time?
the Saints are going to lose to the Dolphins. They're going to be done.
That's my pick of the day, by the way,
Right.
is Miami, number one. Okay, and the rookie quarterback for Notre Dame, he's going to be seeing. You think Sam Darnold's seeing ghosts playing New England? He's going to see serious ghosts,
right?
This year.
Right.
And by the way, Ed, I have a lot of money bet on the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl. Okay, just to let you know that I have a lot of money on this team winning the Super Bowl.
How much?
Are you regretting it?
I'm not as optimistic as I was earlier part of the year, and it's due to injuries and coaching right now.
Let me ask you, Ed, what team do you think in the NFC is going to beat this team?
Oh, I think the Rams could.
Okay, possible.
I'll tell you what the Rams will be like after this game.
Yeah, I mean, because to me, the Rams and Matt Stafford, that's the big-time key. I mean, he had a great start, but he's really come back down to earth. He's turned into Lions Matt Stafford, and that's not necessarily a good thing, turning over the ball. And they also have the same problem, if you will, with being balanced. They are not a balanced attack. And on top of it, they lost Robert Woods. So besides the Rams, do you think the Cardinals right now could beat the Bucs?
No.
The Cardinals have a strong defense, but their offense isn't
okay.
like,
One of the worst teams in the National Football League against the run, just to let you know.
All right. So what about the Green Bay Packers? Is that your fear?
The Green Bay Packers are scary. But
why are they scary?
Yeah, really, they got lucky the last two games.
But why are the Packers scary to you?
Actually, let me take that back. After what I saw last night, they're not that scary. I think
Hang on, go back to 2 weeks ago.
were healthy.
Hold on, go back to 2 weeks ago against Baltimore when he decided to go for two.
Yeah.
Rather than tying the game up. Hold on. Go back to when they played the Washington football team.
Right.
And they left 28 points on the field, the Washington football team, by turning the ball over in the end zone.
Yeah.
I can tell you another 3 ball games this year that Green Bay couldn't stop and catch a cold if they tried.
Yeah.
Most overrated team in the NFC are the Green Bay Packers.
And on top of it, Aaron Rodgers has a toe injury, and I don't think that toe injury is going to get that much better. And you saw him yesterday
without question
limping around. So again,
one more thing, and
yes.
then I'll let you guys go.
Yes, Ed.
So, how did the Indianapolis Colts win yesterday hurt the Bucs? Because it seems like they dropped in the standings there as far as the playoffs.
That's a good question, but I can't help that. I picked Indianapolis to win the game, and they were getting points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they can't. I mean, they've already. How did they hurt them? They're going to be past the Arizona. Arizona, number one, isn't going to win another game this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to me, Arizona is definitely on a downward trend, and the wheels are falling off for them. And
they're done. Stick a fork in them, boys.
To
Just
me,
stick a fork in Arizona.
Their offense is not as explosive as a lot of people think they are, and their defense is okay, but their defense is most likely getting wore out. They got beat by a
They
Colts
can't stop
team.
the run.
Right, and that, to me, the Colts are one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC and all of the NFL because of what? They can run the ball. They can be balanced. You don't turn over the ball with Carson
quarterback
Wentz.
that manages the game.
Correct.
I hate to say that word, a game manager. Ed, that was a great call, man.
Good stuff, Ed. Appreciate the call. Appreciate you, bud. All right, let me go ahead and give you a Byron Leftwich right here. Here we go.
How about them Bucs,
Hit
baby?
them cannons.
All right, we will definitely fire those cannons right there.
Twice.
I'll give him another one.
There you go.
All right, appreciate you, Ed. Thanks a lot. Call back on the post-game edition, all right? Let's go ahead and read some of these comments once again. Go back to Kyle's. The key for the next 3 weeks is balance on offense. The defense has to keep stopping the opponent, at least hold the opponent to field goals. Christopher Cole, hey, what's up, guys? Let's get this game. Absolutely.
Christopher Cole.
King Troy, Trojan legend. I couldn't make it to the casino, Uncle Harry, but you can get me a Tesla for my bar mitzvah. I'll say this.
Is that King Troy? Is that my boy Troy?
Yeah, that's Troy. Carolina is in for a butt whooping. I like it. Troy Polamalu. Bucs should be dropping 40 points on the Panthers. 40 points. Do you think 40 points? I think this defense is a little bit better than 40 points at this point.
I don't know.
Then once again, you're going to be missing your three main guys in Evans, Godwin, and
how
of course
about if we
Fournette.
just get the win?
Right.
How about if we just get the win?
Why 40 points? I don't know. Make sure to check out the Cruise video show, NFC Roundtable, on NSPN Sundays at 9 a.m. Central. We'll talk about the whole NFC and provide our pick six. This week's show is posted up already. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate you. We're live here on NSPN. I love St. Pete. Let's see. We need a real play caller. Leftwich is terrible. You're not the biggest fan of Leftwich, and neither is Troy Polamalu. You look at that game last week. What were some of the deficiencies besides the obvious not scoring any points?
Run the football.
Right.
How about sliding the protection over to the struggling side?
Okay.
That means wherever Cam Jordan was at.
Right.
Okay. Had that been a playoff game, and you're going up against a team that has not just one defensive end and knows how to rush the quarterback, but two,
sure.
What the hell are you going to do?
Right. You're exactly right. All right. So looking at Carolina,
That's what I think about Byron Leftwich.
We talked about Cam Newton. We
hurry
also
up
talked
and,
about
hold on.
Sam. Yes.
Hold up and hurry up and go coach the Jacksonville Jaguars. Get them a different offensive coordinator in here.
I like Byron Leftwich.
I know you do.
I think that sometimes it is a little bit.
It's frustrating.
It is very frustrating.
I told you my opinions are not popular.
No, but those situations where it's 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1 and you go deep instead of maybe trying to run the ball or going short or intermediate at that point. And again, we don't know. We don't know the play calls, what Tom Brady is seeing. You just have to have faith at this point that, once again, it was a bad game. The Saints have their number.
Right.
The Panthers, they swept them last year. So, but it was tough. It was tough in both of those situations where the Panthers came out, had a strong start. Troy Polamalu, which players made it to the Pro Bowl? Of course, you got Tom Brady, Ryan Jensen, of course, Ali Marpet, Tristan Wirfs. So you had 3 offensive linemen right there. Tom Brady, and then, of course, Shaq Barrett on the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Very
How about
deserving.
no Roquan Smith with 160 tackles?
Really?
Just let me throw that out there.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of even coming into this game, Brian Burns, who's
There's
a defensive
always
end.
going to be snubs,
Right.
bro. There's always going to be. Last year it happened to quite a few Buck players.
Sure.
But
I agree. Not many Pro Bowlers last year. This year they're making up for it.
Yep.
Let's see here. Vaztec. All right, that's great. We got to change the offensive game plan to pound the rock. Troy Polamalu, Colts are a legit team. I swear. Brady paid Jonathan Taylor to stay off the field.
That was a good one. I seen that.
Yeah,
I seen that
and
already.
Chris Saber says, "Let's go." I think he's saying win a
Tampa Bay.
championship. Yep. All right. I tell you what. Let's go out to the victim of volume, N.A. Ronald Jones here live on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Here we go.
Yeah, it's tough. Like you said, being right there on the tip of it. But, I guess everything happens for a reason. We end up, winning the big one. So just trying to repeat that success again, because team success comes in individual success. And, I'll be trying to chase it again. So.
In some ways, what Leonard did last year, you find yourself, this could be your time in the playoffs, right? It doesn't really matter what happened in the first 13 weeks.
Yeah, it really doesn't. All that's out the window. We all got one goal. That's why we're here, to win games. And so you do that, you usually get what you want.
All right, welcome back to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'm your host, Peter Blake, live here at Ducky Sports Lounge, along with professional handicapper extraordinaire Harry the Greek, 1252 Chicago Sports. We talk about the victim of volume. People make fun of it, but once again, you got to give him the carries. And looking back at the game last year, 23 carries, 192. At the time, the Bucs are winning 20-17. He goes for 98 yards, longest run in Tampa Bay Buccaneer history, and that really was a game changer. In your opinion, do you feel like he can do that again? Can he duplicate that effort he had last year?
How many carries did he have in that game? 23
carries for 192.
I tell you right now, you give 20 plus carries to either Le'Veon, Ronald, or Leonard Fournette, and yes, they're capable of doing that.
All right, so let's go out to the phone lines here. Eric, you're on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television live here from Ducky's. You're on with yours truly, along with Harry the Greek. What do you have to say?
What do you think this week, man?
What do you mean? What do I think this week?
What do you think? 5 starters out, right? We signed Le'Veon Bell. Hasn't been good for what? 3 years or so.
Right.
He used to be the best back in the league.
Sure.
Lost captains on both sides. I think so. Right. Mike Evans, right. Godwin, Fournette.
Well, you're going to be without Evans. You're going to be without Godwin. You're going to be without Winfield Jr., Leonard Fournette, Levante David, no JPP, no Bradley Pinion, no Jalen Darden. I mean, the injury list has at least 10 to 11 players on it at this juncture. And, at the end of the day, for me, it's going to be guys got to step up. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka has to step up for JPP. We talk about it. The victim of volume, Ronald Jones or Le'Veon Bell, have to step up for Leonard Fournette. You have to get more out of Tyler Johnson and Scotty Miller. Antonio Brown coming back after missing 8 games is going to have to step up. There's, again, a lot
They're
of
not going to
injuries,
have to blitz too much. Tampa's not going to have to blitz too much.
Right.
They can actually play a softer zone in this game. The front four is going to get to them.
Sure.
Honestly, they're going to. I mean, Sam Darnold hasn't played since Bethusa's been around. And
he's not starting though. I think Cam Newton is starting. They said I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. I think they said Cam gets the nod starting, but then Darnold will see some action at some point.
I didn't know that. I actually heard the other way around, but you're probably most accurate with it.
Right. And
what's the line, Harry? Tell me. Do you know what the line is? I haven't.
Yeah,
looked into
it's moved all over the place. It started at 12.5. It's down to 9.5, back up to 10. They just don't know which way the money's going to go. No, zero chance. I never bet a team that gets goose egged the week before. And then you have to lay that many points on the road with that many injuries. If you put me in a corner, I'd have to tell you to take Carolina with the points. But I'm not going that route because I don't think Carolina is very good. I really don't. They were good in the early part of the year. That's why I said stay away from this game. It's not a betting game. But since you asked that, I have a lot of games here that I like to give out. Today, Atlanta, -5.5 over Detroit. Detroit does not have Jared Goff at quarterback at the helm. The Rams, -3, absolute lock. They are going to destroy the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, that's right. Not Vikings, Vikings.
Vikings? Okay.
I've never heard that.
Yep. And there's one more. Miami's my pick of the week, -1 against New Orleans. It's simple.
Yep.
New Orleans will be out of the playoff hunt. They're done. And they'll be outside looking in after this game.
That's it.
Miami's a huge playback for me. And by the way, that total's only 37.5 points. That's how much they respect the over and that's how much they respect both of these defenses. Both of these teams can play defense. If you cannot play the under, do not play the total in this game. If you cannot play the under, because 37.5 points, everybody wants to go over on that.
Sure,
but there's a rule of thumb here, guys.
What's that?
Anything between 36 and 39.5 points, always bet under. And if you can't, stay away from the game. But I can tell you without question, you want to play Miami in this game. Miami's huge.
Absolutely.
That's
all right.
Beautiful insight, man. Yeah. Well, real quick, Peter, if you had Peter and Harry there, if you had to draw it up here, obviously Fournette's out. We don't know if there's a personal issue with Rojo. We know that he hasn't been, as trustworthy. In some circumstances, I like Rojo.
I don't think it's a personal issue. I think it's a play issue that they don't necessarily have enough confidence in him when it comes to pass protection and catching the ball consistently. He has to get better with it. I don't think it's a personal issue. People making it personal. It's not personal. What is personal is, or
it's about repetition, Peter.
Well, it's about not getting your quarterback killed. And we've seen that in the past. If Jones is in on pass protection, he will, I don't know what happened there. What was that?
I have no idea what that noise was.
High-powered rifle in the background there. Just kidding. He's gotten Brady killed, so that's what you can't do. So that's the reason why you bring in a Le'Veon Bell. And then on top of it, yes, that is Jason Powers right there.
Jason, get up in here, man. Why don't you come in
how
here
much
and talk?
action do you expect Le'Veon Bell to see?
It's a great question because they talked about it this week in the presser, and he said, how many carries he could get. He would get those carries. We got Jason Powers coming in here. Let me go ahead and go to you. Eric has a question. He thinks Le'Veon Bell, how many carries do you think Le'Veon Bell gets this week, or do you think he comes right in and starts right away?
No.
Because they don't have confidence in the Ronald Jones.
No, he doesn't know the playbook. I mean, there'll probably be a handful of plays he can run, some basic run plays.
Sure,
but you're not going to see him in any elaborate.
The
passing protection, especially because I don't think he's been here long enough to learn the plays.
Right. Well, he was talking about it. He got some of this offense from Pittsburgh because he is very familiar
with Arians. I get that. Yeah, I get some of it. And again, he'll be able to come in. And I think you'll see him get 3 or 4 carries.
Right.
Probably.
I don't think 20 to 25 carries,
No.
maybe 5 to 10, if that.
This is your guy's day.
Right. That's it.
This is Ronald Jones's day.
That's it.
This next
It's time for him to step up. What he had, I think, 192 last year, right?
Yeah, 23 carries for 192 yards, including a 98-yard run, which is the
fresh
longest in Bucs history.
He's fresh.
Right.
He knows the offense.
Right.
There's no excuse today.
Agreed.
This is a 20 carry day for Ronald Jones. You know, if you get 3 or 4 or 5 carries between Bell and Keyshawn Vaughn, great. But this is a Ronald Jones kind of day today. Lean on him. You need him. You're depleted at wide receiver. Your depth at wide receiver is not great, though. I think you're going to see a lot of 2 and 3 tight ends. Brait, Gronk, OJ Howard, where you only have to play 2 wide receivers, Antonio and either Tyler Johnson or whoever else is that second guy.
Exactly. All right, good
stuff. A lot of multiple
Eric.
tight ends.
Appreciate the call, my friend. Let me go ahead and give you a fire the cannons right there. Good stuff. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 on here with Mr. Jason Powers on Sports.
Real
podcast.
quick, I know I'm late to the party here.
That's all right.
Did you have a nice Christmas?
I did. Did you?
I did. It was good.
It was pretty busy. I tell you what, we got to go out to the phone lines here. Let's go ahead and get this guy's walk-up music on. Here we go.
Yeah! Tampa makes it.
All right, Curtis from Newport Richey, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television as we get you ready for Bucs versus the Carolina Panthers. What do you have to say, my friend?
First of all, what's going on to Bling Bling Blake?
Yeah.
Bling Blake.
Yeah, that's a good name.
That's a really good name. I like that. I kind of like the Bling Blake. It's going good. I was not Bling Blake yesterday, even though I had the Rolex on. I was Uncle Pete, Uncle Viral Pete yesterday with the nieces and nephews, and it was unbelievable day.
Real quick, Curtis, I'm really disappointed in you, Peter. You didn't send me a picture of it. I had to get the picture through a third party.
I've been so busy with everything
else. Come on now. I can't get a text
message.
with the picture.
I'm so sorry, man.
Come on.
So
Go ahead,
sorry.
Curtis.
Just gonna refer him to the Bling Bling Blake. And, I think there's no stick with him from now on.
There you go. I like that. Bling Blake. I love it.
Did Santa Claus bring some bling to Curtis in Newport Richey?
Right.
Santa Claus might have got somebody pregnant.
Is this PG TV or what?
I guess. Hey, it's there.
Okay, let me go back. I think the stork might be visiting my house.
There you go.
Wow. Well, congratulations, buddy.
No. Oh, no. Jesus,
No?
I hope not.
Did you have the Christmas music playing when all this action was going on? Were you playing some Bing Crosby and some Andy Williams and some Santa Claus is coming to town?
I think he was playing something else. It probably wasn't Christmas music. It may have been Marvin Gaye, some baby making music.
No. We heard those sleigh bells jingling, ding, ding, ding.
Well, there you go. That's a way to work things out. That's for
go.
sure, my friend. Happy wife, happy life. Good stuff, Curtis. What do you have to say about this game right now? Biggest key to the Bucs' victory to get to 11 wins today.
Run the damn ball.
Right. I think that's everybody saying that. I mean, that honestly has been the biggest point.
So let's try to
Yes,
save.
it is Curtis.
Let's try to save Brady's arm for the rest of the bowl season.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell somebody. I'm gonna tell you this. This has nothing to do with the Bucs. What I'm about to say.
Okay.
Green Bay is in trouble.
Green Bay is
They were vulnerable. They were
is
vulnerable
in
yesterday.
trouble.
I'm gonna tell you something. Cleveland should not have been that close in that game
Nope.
yesterday.
Nope.
And if it wasn't for Peter knows this, if it wasn't for Baker Mayfield, who I've been telling people for years, he's not the quarterback people think he is.
Nope, he's not.
And
they could have, if they would have kept running the damn ball with Chubb, it would have got down there. They would have kicked the field goal and they would have won.
Say what you want. They got Green Bay got the break of all breaks on that no call on the holding on the last interception.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's a first down at the 50 if they call that.
Well, a couple of the interceptions there look like the
especially the
wide
last one.
Right.
The last one was egregious. That's an egregiously bad missed call by the officiating crew. That gives
Exactly.
Cleveland the ball first down at the 50.
Yeah.
I'm like Harry. Green Bay has a short horseshoe up. You know what?
Yep.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not gonna dwell on it, but Aaron Rodgers should have got suspended like Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't. And I'm gonna tell you something. If he wins the MVP again this year, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really don't.
No.
And
here's what I'm going to tell everybody. Today's a statement game for Tom Brady to get back in the MVP race.
Absolutely.
If you're able to throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns with this depleted receiving core, have a big game these next couple of weeks with a depleted receiving core, that's going to get him some votes at the end here.
And again, it's not against a bad defense. I mean, don't let the record fool you. Panthers are 5-9 coming into this game, but they have a very good defense, especially good pass rush with Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns.
I think that running the ball today and getting those 3 tight ends involved is one of the keys to victory.
This is a game too. I want to see the Buccaneer defense score.
Yeah.
Not get a turnover, score, or a special teams long return, something like that.
And it's gonna be interesting because you don't have Antoine Winfield, although you're gonna have all your
Edwards is
three-quarters.
back. Edwards is back.
You have Dean, of course, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Carlton Davis. You don't have JPP, so now Joe Tryon-Shayenka is going to get an opportunity. A guy like a Cam Gill and Anthony Nelson are going to get an opportunity to step up.
I was going to say that it's time to see that kid Joe step up.
Yep.
And listen, I know the Levante David injury really hurts.
Yep.
But man, Kevin Minter,
he's a good player.
He's had to step in.
He's a good player.
Replacement.
Yes.
Very right.
He's played.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I want to see the DBs step in front of a Cam Newton route. He's not a good accurate thrower. Catch the ball today, and let's take one to the house today.
I agree. I absolutely agree. What else, Curtis?
So nothing, man. It's just going to be a good game. I want to see OJ Howard with 5 catches today.
Well, it would be nice for O.J. Howard to appear because we haven't seen enough of him in this offense. And I think you may be onto something, not only running the ball, but using those 2 to 3 tight end sets to protect Brady.
I think you're going to see 8 to 10, minimum 10 catches out of the tight ends today. A combination of all 3 guys.
I don't want to dwell on the past, but I'm going to say this. And I was listening to you, Harry, earlier. If they would have used on the line to help with Cam Jordan, and then you would have had OJ sliding. I mean, you would have had OJ coming out the other side of that line and catching small little swing passes and stuff. It would have killed New Orleans because they would have been looking for that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. I absolutely agree.
I mean, I think you're going to see a bunch of Brayton, OJ Howard today.
And the thing is, with Fournette losing him, not only do you lose your bell cow runner, but you lose your second leading wide receiver on this team, which is crazy in itself.
Which to me leads back to the tight ends.
Yep.
That's where the outlet throws, the dump offs go to is the short little.
We had this conversation earlier.
Right.
If Le'Veon Bell shows any flash of himself from his birthday.
Sure.
And I'm going to say this too. If you were Le'Veon Bell, you haven't been excited about your last few stops.
Oh yeah.
But you should be excited now because of what you are potentially set up to go out there and play for and win.
Absolutely. All right, we got to run, my friend. We got the game coming on here. We want to get you out of here so you can watch it. Quick prediction, go.
I'm gonna just go simple today. I'm gonna go 30-17. Simple.
All right, 30-17. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons right there. Good stuff,
guys,
Curtis.
Y'all be safe. Hey, if Bling Blake needs in the security, let me know.
All right. Sounds good, Curtis. Appreciate you there. Bling Blake. I love it. Let me go out and read these comments, and then we'll get a quick prediction. We got to change the offensive game plan to pound the rock. Colts are a legit team. I swear Brady paid Jonathan Taylor. I read that one already. Let's go out to Melissa. I've seen that, Bling. Thank you. Watching football in ICU hospital. Be safe. My prayers are out to you and your family. I'll fire the cannons to that, Melissa. Thank you very much for tuning in. That's awesome in itself.
Can I give a couple gambling picks while you go through the comments?
Sure. Brian Pearson says Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you still won't make the playoffs this year.
Shut up!
And Troy Polamalu, is anybody at Ducky's? I heard a paper napkin drop. There are plenty of people.
Yes.
You're not here. That's a good thing. Jason, quick prediction, some gambling tips. And
a couple gambling things. I like Pittsburgh today plus the 10.5. No Kelsey.
Okay.
In Kansas City, too many points in my opinion. I know Pittsburgh not scoring very much, but too many points. I'll take Kansas City, Pittsburgh in the 10.5. And I like the over in the New England Buffalo. But I think that's going to be a low scoring game. I like high over in New England Buffalo.
Tampa Bay versus Carolina prediction.
Yep.
And
I'm
why?
going to go 30 to pretty close to Curtis. 30-16, 30-17 kind of game. I think Brady's going to get busy today. I think they're going to be they're going to be focused. I think last week was really a wake-up call.
Right.
A gut check for them. They got manhandled last week physically. I think you're going to see 30-17 Bucs, just like Curtis.
Tampa Bay 24-13 over the Carolina Panthers. It's an ugly win today, but that's exactly what they need. We got Harry the Greek coming here. Let's go ahead and wrap it up for 24-9. He says Bucs over the Carolina Panthers. So the great Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire of 1252 Chicago Sports, and Jason Powers on Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Enjoy the game.
Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.